Okay, we have here Stetson head coach Lynn Bria and student athletes Shanasa Sanders, Victoria McGowan, and Sasha Sims. And we will open it up for questions for the student athletes first.
I'll start. I'm Jim Massey with the Columbus Dispatch, and just starting with Victoria on the left. Can you speak to basically actually winning the conference tournament and the excitement that came knowing you were coming here to the NCAA tournament?
We were very excited, but we were expecting to be here. We never doubted ourselves. We always believed that we had a chance, even though we lost the first regular season game to Gulf Coast. We always believed that we had a chance. So we expected to be here, and we are expecting to compete.
Shanasa, the UCLA players came in here and they were talking about basically they compared you to some of the teams they played during the course of the season. Have you played anybody? Have you seen them to know whether you've played anybody like them this year so far?
No, I haven't played anybody like UCLA. They're a great team, and we're prepared to play them tomorrow.
What makes them a great team?
Their size. They have a big post player inside, and we just need to basically double down and rebound.
Sasha, what do you think about UCLA? And again, have you played anybody as big as them? Not just here, anywhere.
Yeah, I think as far as like AU and just over the years of playing teams, I've definitely played someone of their caliber. We've also had the opportunity to come into the NCAA tournament before we had the opportunity to play Tennessee. So I think in that experience and that loss, it also helps us prepare for tomorrow.
Coming from a school, I'm Rusty Miller with Associated Press. Coming from a school that's never won before an NCAA tournament, what would it mean if you were to pull off a shocker and not UCLA?
We have a great opportunity tomorrow. So we're just gonna come out and play hard, do our best, and leave everything we have on the floor. Because for some of us, this could be our last chance, our last college game.
Did you guys play Tennessee on their home court?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What's it like, Sasha, to come to a place where there is no real true home team here and to have an opportunity to really on a neutral court?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think it neutralizes the opportunities, levels the playing field a lot better. When we did play in Tennessee, that was a very hostile environment because they have a great program and a great tradition that they've developed. So, I mean, like we said earlier, we're just excited, and we don't feel like there's any type of disadvantage for us.
Shanasa, UCLA basically came from the West Coast, and they don't think they have many people here beyond their parents and family type people. Do you have much of a following you think that's going to be here tomorrow?
Tomorrow, most of our players, their families, friends, our head coach is from up north, so we'll have a lot of fans and friends here tomorrow, and we're very excited about that.
Do you like the fact of being that the crowds generally like the underdog in a game like this?
Repeat yourself, please.
That the fans kind of can get behind an underdog team in a game like this and start maybe cheering for you as opposed to the big deal.
Yes, our fans tomorrow will help us a lot in the game, especially if we get down. So we're going to depend on them as well as our bench. So.
UCLA is a little bit bigger, I think, than you are. Or do you intend to, I guess your hope is to use your speed, quickness against them?
Yeah, we'll try to use our speed, and we also try to pack the paint and stop them from penetrating. And we also have to rebound and box out.
Are you primarily a transitional team that scores in transitional?
It's a balance between transition, and we run a lot of offense too. We work on our offense a lot. So I think it's a combination of both transition and just running our offense.
I think they also mentioned, Shanasa, they mentioned that their coach mentioned that they'd had trouble with three-point shooting teams. And can you guys take advantage of that, you think, a little bit?
We're all-around team. We could go inside, we could shoot the three ball. We have players that play in and out, so that's the big difference right there.
for all of you, when you watch like the men's tournament yesterday or even the first four before it earlier this week, when you see an upset, does that kind of encourage you to think, hey, why couldn't it be us?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's more of we're more focused on ourselves, and watching the games, they are a big deal. You know, just watching them and seeing all the other teams come from behind and battle back and upset teams that aren't picked to win. Because for a long time, we haven't been picked to win. That's in our conference, in the tournament, or whatever. So I feel like as a team, we're just ready to come together and make some noise in this tournament.
For Victoria and Sasha, this is your guys' second trip to the NCAA tournament. Could you guys compare this year's team with the team that went 2 years ago? And what advantages will you have this time, having had that experience from before?
I think our team a couple of years ago was actually bigger than this team. We hadn't been playing together for that long. This team, we had a couple of years of experience together, so I think we played together better than that team the previous year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think, as Coach Bria told us before, when we originally went to the tournament, we were just happy to be there. Everybody was just excited. We were happy to be amongst the elite teams. And I think this year we're actually more focused on actually advancing.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you, Victoria, Sasha, and Shanasa, sorry. You guys can actually leave if you want. And now we'll open up questions for head coach Lynn Bria.
Coach, can you compare the two teams from 2011 and then this year's team?
Yeah, that team of 2 years ago, I mean, Sasha really said it right. We were just happy to be there. We were not very good, I'll be honest with you. You know, we started out that year in our conference really poor. And so, you know, we had some size at that time, but that team, they really overachieved. They got so much better as the year went on. So we just started to play well at the end and had a good run our probably last 10, 15 games. And we were not a very good rebounding team. So I knew we'd probably get a 16 seed and to play against Tennessee, you know, the big orange monster. That was tough. But the breakthrough was just, we were happy to be there. And, you know, it was a great experience, you know, coming there. But this year's team, you know, to win a round, it's better if you try. I was watching Belmont men last night, and they've been 6 or 7 times now, and they haven't won yet. And they used to be in our conference last year, and I'm good friends with Rick Bird. And, you know, the more chances you have if you keep coming. And you get better, you get more experienced at playing in this. So we kind of knew the protocol this year, you know, and I think this team is, you know, Victoria and Sasha and Knock, they were so young 2 years ago. You know, and they're older now, they're more mature, they don't make the mistakes they did 2 years ago. So even though we're not as big, we are a much better team than that team of 2 years ago. And to have the experience, I think it makes our chances better.
And could you also talk about 2 other big benefits for Stetson? One is the seed of the 14th seed, and then playing here in Ohio where it's so close to so many families and the support that Stetson will have here.
Well, we were ecstatic to come to Ohio. People kind of looked at us like we had 3 eyeballs when we said we were happy to go to Columbus because it's cold up here. And being Floridians, it's very warm down there. But most of our team, or a lot of our teams from the Midwest. You know, we have 2 players from Indiana. I'm from West Virginia. Victoria's from Michigan. And we have a player from Bexley. So, and we still sign players from Ohio. We love to come up here and bring them down to Florida. So we were happy to come to Ohio and to come to Columbus. It's a great city. So I think the seed really, in the neutral court is probably the best thing about it. When you go to a Tennessee and you play on their home floor, that's tough. You know, I mean, every team is good now. 64 teams, they're all good. So there's not an easy game, but I think to be on a neutral court really helps our chances.
What do your kids have to do to get UCLA's attention tomorrow and to hang with them as the game goes along?
Yeah, well, I think, I think it's going to come down to points in the paint. That's what the game will come down to. They are obviously bigger than us. They present some matchup problems, but I also think we present matchup problems for them because we can shoot the three. That is really not what they want to do. They want to pound it inside. Their guards will post up as well, so we have to make sure that we help and double down on the post. And then I think we've got to hit some outside shots. You know, Corey's a very good coach. She's done an outstanding job in 2 years there. So, you know, she plays man and she plays zone. You know, UCLA, they're not anything fancy, but what they do well. They do it very well. So it's going to come down to us getting team stops. I mean, we have to play together as a unit and play, and then we have to play team offense. We do want to run. We want to push it every time we can. I think to beat their bigs down there is going to be very important for us. You know, they're tall, but we run faster. So we're going to try to get down there before they do. So I think to get their attention, I think if we're close and we're hanging in there and I think the pressure's on them. I mean, they're supposed to win the game, according to the seed. You know, I do think that if we can rebound with them, if we can limit their points in the paint, we've got a real shot to win the game.
Their coach compared you guys to Cal Northridge, and Cal Northridge did beat them this year, which she said kind of got the attention of her players that you have to be careful. But when you see a team like Cal Northridge has managed to beat them, does that give you something like, oh yeah, we can do this?
Yeah, we are very similar to them. I saw that game. Yes, it does, because I think, you know, now they played Cal Northridge, I think, back in December. So they're a better team. I mean, UCLA's a much better team, but we feel like we've gotten better as well. So, you know, like I said, they're what they do well. And I think they play a very good zone. She's done a really good job of really teaching the zone and getting her players in the right spots and their slides. And they're a very good rebounding team. So, but you know, she's just done a great job with her program.
I've asked all the other three coaches this. Ohio State's not here. Do you have any concerns about the crowd not being maybe as exciting or as big as it might have been with the host team here?
Well, you know, I don't think I have as much a concern about it. I think, you know, I would hope that we'd have a good crowd. You know, I think the people of Ohio and the people in this area love girls basketball. It's a great place as far as women's basketball. So certainly I think if Ohio State was in it, of course we'd have more people, you know. But I think we're going to have a lot of people because we have so many players from up this way.
How'd you get the Bexley kid?
We just recruited really hard, you know, but we love coming up here to recruit.
Any other questions for Coach? Okay, thank you, Coach
Thank
Bria.
you.